Today we are going to do a shorter workout, and it's going to be more focused on the lower body. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. So go ahead and come down to your knees, let the hips go heavy towards the heels, hugging the low belly. And I want you to go ahead and walk the hands out in front of you. If your forehead can come to the floor, go ahead with the forehead come to the floor. Otherwise, you can stack hand on top of hand or fist on top of fist. And just try to let the hips be heavy here. Start taking some nice deep breaths. If you do not need your hands to support the forehead, go ahead and reach the hands out in front of you and just get as long to the torso as you can. There's a little sensation, take the outer upper arms, the tricep area, and wrapping them towards the floor. And keeping the hips heavy, take both hands, walk them over to the right, keeping the left hip anchored down. Almost like you're pressing the left hip down and away from you a little bit. Get really long to that left side of the body. Hands are still about shoulder distance apart. Another couple breaths here. And then on your next inhale, come through center. On an exhale, hands go to the left. This time, right hip is anchored down. A little sensation like you're pressing it down and away from you. The arms stay lifted. You're making a tent out of the hands. Some nice deep breaths. Then on the next inhale, come back to center. On the next inhale, come up onto all fours, the tabletop position. Keep the core engaged here. On an inhale, the right arm and the left leg are going to extend out. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, center. Inhale, right arm, left arm, right leg. Exhale, center. This time, inhale, right arm, left leg. Keep him lifted. With that left leg, core supporting the low back. Tap the toes down. Lift the leg up. Left toes tap down and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap. Keep lifted here. Keep the core engaged. Next exhale, hand and knee to the floor. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Again, core is engaged, supporting that low back. And exhale, right toes tap down and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap. This time stay lifted. Engaging core engaged. Exhale everything back down to the floor. Toes turn under, downward facing dog. Now go ahead and take a few breaths here and walk it out a little bit. Pressing through the fingerprints and the knuckles of hands, trying to get light into the wrist. Go ahead and bring the feet a little closer together. On an inhale, take the right leg to the sky. On your exhale, step it outside of the right hand. Turn the toes out to the right. Take that left foot, scooch it back a little bit so you've got a really nice long stance. Then drop that left knee to the floor. Left hand goes forward off to the side. Chest rotates to the right. So make sure you're not curving the spine or collapsing everything. You stay nice and long. You're just rotating the chest to the right. And then take the right arm up to the sky. Let the hips be heavy here so you're getting a nice stretch into the hip flexor. Couple more breaths here. Really reach those fingertips. One more breath. And then on On your next exhale, bring the hand down, turn those right toes forward, scoot the hips back, walk the hands back, pull the toes back, reach the heart forward. Spread the toes as much as you can and press through the ball of the big toe. And it's almost like you're kind of isometrically hugging that right knee or right heel and left knee towards each other. Another breath here. And scoot forward, walk the hands forward, turn the back toes under, pick the knee up, step forward a bit so the feet are maybe 1.5 to 2 feet apart. Right toes point forward, left toes are pointing at about 11 o'clock. And then just melt over that front leg. Get a nice stretch into the hamstrings, to the glutes. And then it's almost like you're trying to take your heels and take the heels outward. You're pressing the heels outward to get a little internal rotation into those thighs. One more breath here. And then go ahead and plant the hands and just step back to your downward facing dog. One more breath here. Next inhale, left leg floats to the sky. Exhale, step it outside of the left hand. So same thing, the other side, toes turn out to the left. Take that right foot, scoot it back a little bit, then let the knee come to the floor. Right hand goes forward, off to the side. Chest rotates to the left. Left arm to the sky. Really reach through those fingertips of that left hand. One more breath. Then on your next exhale, come back to center. Walk the left foot in a little bit, toes point forward, walk the hands back, send the hips back, reach the heart forward, hold the toes back and spread them, and that little sensation of hugging the heel and the knee towards each other. Low belly is drawing in, you're reaching the heart forward. Another breath here. And then coming forward, back toes turn under, step that back foot forward. Same thing, feet about 1.5 to 2 feet apart. Left toes point forward, right toes point out about 1 o'clock. Hips are level and just melt over that front leg. Let the chin come towards the chest. Weight is fairly equal in both feet. Another breath here. And then go ahead, step forward, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway position. Get nice and long, lengthen here. Fingertips to the floor or hands to the shins. Exhale like a rag doll, let it all go. Again, inhale, halfway position. Exhale, release it. With your inhale, lift and lengthen. With the exhale, let it go. And soften the knees, press through the legs, reach all the way up to the sky, come to standing, exhale, hands to heart. Let's go ahead and bring to where the big toes are together. Heels will be a little separated. On an inhale, reach arms to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees for chair pose. Make sure you're light into the toes and heavy into the heels. The core is engaged. Arms are reaching up and out. If this is too much on you, you can bring the hands to the heart or even straight out in front of you. So whatever works for you, lower the hips, engage the core. Another breath here. On your next exhale, straighten the legs, hands to the floor. inhale, halfway position. So bend the knees back to chair pose. On your next inhale, press your legs, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the hips, lift the toes, engage the core. One more breath. On your next exhale, hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Halfway position with your inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, back to chair. Make sure you lift those toes away from the mat. Next inhale, straighten the legs, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Another round like that. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Heavy in the heels, light into the toes. Core is engaged. Quick down so you can see your toes. Then lower the hips a little bit more. And then go ahead and look forward. Keep the knees pointing forward and hugging together. On an exhale, hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway position. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Chair pose. Next inhale, straighten the legs, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Reach to the sky, circle the arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway position. Step back, plank pose. Nice strong plank here. Hug the core in, draw the tailbone towards the heels. Keep pressing through the hands. Not the heel of the hands, the thumb pad, index fingers. Use your core, use your arms to get a little bit lighter. Next, exhale, downward facing dog. With an inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it to the hand. Crescent pose, so make sure you've got a nice strong stance right here. Core is engaged. Go to rise up to crescent pose, arms overhead. Pinky fingers wrapping towards each other. And the core is engaged, hugging those low ribs in. You're going to soften that back knee. Press to the front heel of the front foot. And then sort of tap the back knee down. Tap the knee to the floor. Come back up. Tap and lift. And tap and lift. Tap and lift. One more. Tap it down. Lift it up. Hands to the heart. Lean over that front leg. Engage the core a lot. Feel the weight over that right leg. You can keep hands to your heart. You can reach them back by your hips, palms face down, or you can reach them all the way over the head, palms facing each other, pinky fingers towards the floor, thumbs towards the sky. Anywhere your arms are at, you're going to see them float into warrior 3. Keeping the hips as level as you can. Internal rotation with that left leg. Float back to crescent pose as lightly as you can. One more breath. Next exhale, hands to the floor. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway position. Exhale, let it go. Rise with your inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips. Back to chair pose. Again, lifting the toes away from the mat. Exhale, hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Halfway position with your inhale. Stepping it back to plank pose with your exhale. Pause here. Next, exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, left leg floats to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Again, setting up for crescent pose. So feel the weight into the feet, strong legs, cores engaged. Soften that back knee a little bit. Go ahead and rise up for crescent pose. Settle into this. And then back knee taps down and lift. And tap and lift. And tap and lift. Tap and lift. One more. Tap it down. Lift it up. Hands to the heart. Lean over that front leg. Engage the core. Hug your low ribs in. Hug the belly button in. Feel the weight over that left leg. Arms wherever you want to take them. Back by the hips to heart or overhead. Float forward. Warrior 3. Internal rotation with that right leg. Press through the heel. And keep the core engaged to support the low back. Then as lightly as you can, float back to crescent pose. Take a breath here. Next, exhale, hands to the floor. Step forward, forward fold. Halfway position with your inhale. Let it go with your exhale. Press the legs, reach to the sky. Hands to heart with the exhale. Next, inhale, arms to the sky. You got it, then knees chair pose. Make sure those knees are pointing straight forward. Here I have my feet a little separated since we just come from a standing position. Exhale, hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Halfway position with your inhale. Step it back to plank with the exhale. Take some breaths here. Next, exhale, downward facing dog. So go ahead and take the right leg to the sky and step it to the hand. Then we're going to take a quarter turn onto the mat. So hopefully I'm facing the camera and you're facing me. And then just really let it all go into a wide-legged forward fold. Halfway position. Heels in a little bit, toes out a little bit. Bring the hands to the hips. Come all the way up to standing. Open the arms out. We should have wrists and ankles should be pretty much aligned. Go ahead and take the hands to the hips. We're going to take the right toes, turn the right toes towards the top of the mat. Back foot at a little bit of an angle, about a 20-degree angle. And you're going to really press through that outer edge of that back foot. Warrior 2, just bend that front knee. Keep the back leg really strong. Add the arms. Right hip keeps hugging in a little bit. Right toe, right knee is tracking over the toes. Just take notice if you are relaxing that back leg, if you feel that inner thigh kind of giving out a little bit. Press through the outer edge of that back heel. Sink a little bit deeper. Nice steady breaths here. Reverse warrior. Left hand goes down the leg, right palm faces the sky. Lift up and over. Keep the back leg active. Keep sinking into that front knee, and the knee keeps pointing forward. Really reach through those right fingertips. Extended angle pose. We're just going to shift. Let's bring the elbow to the knee to start with. Reach the left arm all the way overhead. Rotate the chest a little bit to the left. Now, if you can stay long through the left waist here, go ahead and lower down fingertips to the floor or to the ankle. Keep that back leg really energized, really engaged. And keep reaching through the left fingertips. Top hand goes to the hip. We're going to look forward of our right pinky toes, and we're going to shift into half moon pose. So you might want to take that back foot, step it forward a little bit, engage the core, floating into half moon pose, keeping the weight over that right leg. Left leg is energized, toes pointed out to the side. Then floating back as lightly as you can, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, hands to the hips, right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Adjust your feet left to right however you need to get your heel arch alignment. Arms out, make sure that back leg's engaged. Bend that front knee, warrior two. Sinking nice and deep into that front leg. Left hip is hugging in. Left knee pointing forward. You should see your big toe and that left foot. Little internal rotation with that back leg, and you really feel that you're pressing to the outer edge of that back foot, the back heel. Coming into reverse warrior. So that back hand goes to the back leg. Left palm faces up. Reach up and over, legs stay strong. Couple more breaths here. Reach those left fingertips. Extended angle pose. Elbow to the knee. To start with, top hand reaches over, adjust those hips. Make sure that left hip is hugging in now. Right hand reaches all the way over. Again, if you can stay long to the left side, go ahead and lower down. Hand to ankle, or fingertips to floor or block if you have a block. Do nice deep breaths here. Feeling those legs work. Preparing for half moon pose, other side. Top hand goes to the hip. Look forward of your left pinky toes. Maybe walk that right foot forward a little bit. Engage the core. Hand forward, float the back leg up. Maybe take the right arm to the sky. So you should be nice and long to the left waist here, not collapsing anything and not putting a lot of weight into that hand. We're using the core, we're using the legs. Floating back as lightly as you can. Warrior two. Straighten front leg, hands to hips. Point all 10 toes forward. Outer edges of the feet parallel with the mat. Come into a nice wide-legged forward fold, hinging from the hips. Walk the hands through the legs, let the chin come towards the chest. Bring the weight a little forward into the balls of the feet here. Another breath. Inhale, halfway position. From here, we're going to bring the heels in, toes out. If you need to walk them a little closer in, you can. Sink the hips down. Bring the hands up to the thighs. You're just going to bend one elbow and straighten the other leg, other arm, and lean into that. it's a rotation with the spine, the upper back, not a leaning. So we stay centered, and then just change sides. So the spine is still long here, and it's not curved, it's just rotating. Come back to center. Hips are still lowered. Toes are still pointed out. We're a little bit forward of our hips. So you don't want to come all the way up. Knees will collapse in. And nor do you want to go too far forward and have the booty stick out too far. So you're in a pretty neutral position. Knees are going out. Now go ahead and add the hands, add the arms, palms face up. Maybe lift the toes away from the mat. Keep trying to open up through the knees. Sink the hips a little bit more. Stay with your breath. Two more breaths. Hands to the floor. Heels out, toes in. Shake the head out a little bit. Come into halfway position with your inhale. Quarter turn towards the top of your mat. Step forward, forward fold. Halfway position with your inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to shift the weight over to the right foot. You're just going to float the left knee up. And then you're going to, like you're going into one-legged chair, and then press. And bend. And press. And bend. And press, and bend, and press, and then pause here. Both feet to the floor, chair pose. Hands to the heart, straighten the legs. Let's shift weight over to the left foot. Float the right knee up, and then bend. Press, bend, press, bended here, pause here, three-legged or one-legged chair. Both feet to the floor, chair pose. Hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Halfway position with your inhale. Left foot steps back, quarter turn. On your mat, hopefully you're facing me. Heels in a little bit, toes out. Just bend one knee, come into a little side lunge here. Just let it feel good. Stretch out that inner thigh muscle. And change sides. Let's change sides one more time. So just shifting over to the side you started with. And shifting over to the second side. Coming back to center, quarter turn towards the top of the mat, and we're going to come down on to our backs. Once we're here, go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. Take a nice deep breath here. Plant the feet to the floor, about hip distance apart. Let both knees drop over to the right. You can open up your arms. Take the right foot to the outside of the left knee. Let that weight of your foot and your leg help get in a little bit deeper into that stretch. Gently look towards your left and just take a few nice deep breaths. One more breath here. Inhale, come to center. Release that foot. Both knees drop to the left. Left foot on top of the outer edge of the right knee. Gently look to your right. Take those nice deep breaths here. Let's go ahead and come back to center, uncross the legs, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. And then go ahead, extend the legs out. Let the arms rest alongside of you. Close your eyes. And just let everything go. Let your breath become very light and natural. And let your muscles become very heavy. And just stay here as long as you have time for, or as long as you desire, letting the mind be still. And I want to thank you for joining me.